Have you looked into K-beauty, Korean beauty?
I just bought a bunch of stuff for Black Friday.
Oh.
And it is one of those.
Good.
What's it called?
Good.
Touche.
I don't know any. I haven't used it.
Okay.
I haven't tried it. But so there's this amazing account that I follow.
Okay.
It's a mom and daughter. It's really the daughter runs it, but her mom is like, she's in her, I think, early to mid 50s.
Okay.
She's stunning. Both of them are.
Yes.
It's genes, a lot of it.
Yeah.
But they're in America, but they go back and forth to Korea doing like skin treatments for content. And I'm not into any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But when I see them, I'm like, oh, I need to do that.
Yeah.
And of course, we live in Atlanta. This is the American mecca of Korean culture.
Yes.
And we have incredible Korean spas here in Atlanta. And
I'm
like
ready
Duluth,
to appreciate.
right?
Yes.
So if you want to go, I'll go with you.
I'll totally go.
Wouldn't that be fun?
It would be so fun. I think about it when it's near my birthday. Every year I'm like, oh, what stuff should I be trying or doing? And so, yeah, I'm ready.
I'm ready too. I don't know about I don't want to do anything like, what's it called? Invasive? We're not doing that.
No.
But we're doing the,
I want a little glow and a little
glow up.
relaxation.
Right.
Gentle.
So you wouldn't do any injections? Me neither. No. But they have so many other things that aren't injections.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's explore those.
Right. Yeah. Non-invasive.
No one's rushing to try those. We should be the ones to try those. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
And let's tell the world.
That would be so fun.
Yes.
We should do another video when we go and do that.
I would love that.
So I know you from our daughters being friends.
Yes.
Which is so amazing because they went to school together. When was that?
They just pick out great friends?
I know.
I mean, come on, kudos to them.
Right?
Yeah.
It's been years though, and like so many people, you lose contact with, but you and I and our girls, yes, we've held strong. So cute. And they were so little when they... And so for the people watching, they went to an outdoor school.
They did.
Which is the coolest thing. I wish all schools were like that.
They still mourn it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Georgie, this morning, she was like, Mommy, how come we don't have recess when it's raining?
I know.
I was like, I'm so sorry.
It has like imprinted. And I love that when we talk about it, it's like a little glow and it's like such a fond memory. It always felt kind of magical. And I'm just so glad that kind of like stuck. And school's tough, and I want her to go back and remember when it used to be, really sweet and fun. And so I feel really lucky that they found each other and they found such a sweet place to make memories that they can kind of hold on to now.
Would you consider, because this is something that I'm kind of like, I'm not talking about it with her. However, in my mind, they have a homeschool aspect there. Yeah. Right? Oh,
do that.
Yes. For the older kids.
Yes.
I wouldn't want her to do that one just because I think that group, it was just like not the group.
Right.
But I have thought about doing homeschool, but just I'm not going to be homeschooling her here at home, but putting her into something that's like a forest school where they can teach her and she can,
I was trying to figure out a way while we were there to how can they make this into when they started adding, like we go to second grade, I was like, please, how do you go all the way? Like we would have stayed forever if we could have.
Yeah, same.
Especially now that they're like in it.
No, now they're in first grade.
I know, and it's stressful. It's stressful for them.
So Monique, how did you become a therapist? Like what made you go down this line?
So, growing up, I had a strong desire to somehow help the mental health field or like be a part of it. Like you'll hear this story probably all the time, right? Don't come from the best mental health kind of space or family. And it's like, I want to do better. I want to be better. And so then once I got into college and trying to figure out in my undergrad exactly what that means, I was working at a daycare and I loved working with kids. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I really want to help kids. And then when I did my research, it was like, you want to help families to really help the kids. And I was like, oh, genius. Yes. So then I go search, right, what programs do that. And it's like marriage and family therapy. They work with the family, you help the kids. And so I was like, yes, I'm going to do that. So then I just applied to some schools, got into just one. And then I was like, there I go. And it was Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Wow.
At the University of Southern Mississippi. And that started everything.
Wow.
And so that's kind of the big start was had an idea, right? And then I kind of honed in and then got in and kind of went from there.
Exactly. Yeah, it is. It's a trope that the therapist came from a tough background.
Yes. I kind of like, I don't want to sound so like, I don't know, generic.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah, that's
but
the story.
It is the truth. Yeah. And
the truth.
You know what? So I actually considered going to school to become I was more interested in like behavioral psychology, but I think if I had originally gone to school for it, I would have wanted to become a therapist and actually like see patients.
Yeah.
But in 2015, I wasn't doing Sweet Potato Soul full time yet, but I was doing my private chefing full time. And things were kind of getting hard. It's hard to be an entrepreneur, you know? And I had this in my head that I was going to go back to school. And that's what I was going to go back to school for. Oh my gosh,
really?
Yeah.
I never knew that. And that's the other thing. In undergrad, it was the only classes I like got good grades in. So that also kind of like, I don't know, reaffirmed it for me. Because I kind of was like, maybe business. I actually wanted to be like a newscaster. I like looked at those programs.
Really? You'd be a good newscaster.
No way. I can't say big words for nothing. So like, or names. I was like, and then I'm like shy. So I was like, it would have been awful. And so it's funny that you're just kind of guessing and trusting that you're going to fall right where you need to or pivot when you need to.
You did. So I wanted to like touch a bit more on, like what it is in us that when we come from a background of, a difficult background and behavioral or mental health challenges that make us want to figure out like the human mind, right? Because isn't that what it is?
Yeah. The more that I'm learning and like, there's so many layers, right? There's so many different perspectives and different hats to kind of put on in this field. And like, I think the one that really resonated with me recently was like, oh, wow, you had a really curious part. And I was like, oh, that's so true. Because I felt like I was like the little version in my family taking notes of like, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. And then I was really curious on like, what's a life look like without all that? And so I think that was like really, it's kind of how it all fell and what really drove me to be really curious. I wanted other answers. I didn't want that to be, I wanted to kind of study, what do other families do? What do other people do? And I think that analytical, curiosity really became, the kind of passion that kind of grew into what it is today.
Wow.
Yeah.
And as somebody who knows you and knows your family in real life, it's amazing how you really live those changes, right? Like being a healthy mother. Yeah. And it's really amazing how you support your daughter's mental health. And not even like, I know they're not, she's, too little to be probably going through mental health challenges, but making space for her emotions. Yeah. Making space for her questions and just for her in general. It's so beautiful. And we don't
thank you.
It's not the norm necessarily.
It's not. And it surely wasn't anything talked about kind of for me growing up. And so that was something I really get passionate about. And, I still go through my moments of like, am I saying or doing the right thing? Even though I know all of this stuff, and it is amazing to see at such a young age, while we weren't really given that kind of support in our generation, I would say, unless you're the exception and had exceptional folks around, that these kids are going through it at such a young age. I mean, I was amazed watching a human grow up that at 3, here's every emotion showed up, but no cognition of what's happening or what I'm saying. And so that's that was big. And I'm and so now watching her in 1st grade, she does get anxiety and stress on the regular about French right now. And so trying to help her with that and realizing that I'm pulling everything that I know and trying to see what's going to help her. And this new wave of body somatic therapy that I'm getting really into has actually helped her the most kind of immediate. And I'm dang, I needed that 3 years ago. And so it's just I think, there's days I'm tired and I'm girl, do the thing we be talking about doing every day. Right. And then there's, some days I'm really okay, I have the bandwidth, I can get it, let me get in there. My hope is I'm doing it enough that it's seeping in. And she's showing me that it is.
Okay, you got to tell us. I don't know if you can hear. I'm sure you can hear the children. That's Georgie. That's her coming home from school. It must be 2:30 right now.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But she's not coming here. Don't worry.
Okay, well, that's okay.
Made it clear. So she wants to see you before you go home. She made that clear to me. Of course,
I would love to see her.
So tell me more. So you mentioned the somatic. That was a question you and I talked a little bit about before, but tell us, what are you talking about with that?
Oh my gosh. Oh my, it's I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. So I may not be explaining it, the giving it justice, but basically kind of how I see it now. It's just this new wave of therapy that's always been there, but I've just not gotten around to it. And then this lovely lady I found who's doing a most amazing trainings is called Linda Tai. And she's like a refugee, right? She was raised in Australia. She's just a wonderful, wonderful, authentic person that I've seen. And she just cares so much to teach you about the body. And she comes from like a yoga background and like on all these different professions she's had, and now is a social worker and kind of ties all this stuff together. And it's just been amazing to see, you know, she goes into like the nervous system and the nerves in your body. And so, you know, simple things can calm the nervous system. And that helps me and my clients, because sometimes I'm like, journal or breathe, and they're like, nope. And so then I'm always looking for other things. Ooh. And even for me, when I'm not in the mood to do those things, for my kid who's like, no, I don't want to do those things. Right. So for example, like in this research, there's this other lovely lady who has a YouTube channel called sheBREATH. And she does all these quick little videos, and it's like for every little thing: anxiety, sleep, digestion, if you feel like you're overwhelmed, overstimulated, if you're feeling depressed. And so it's just amazing that there's different points of your body you can kind of support. And so, for example, some that I've been trying on, she'll talk a lot about is like a lot of kind of shaking. And she goes into the science about why kind of like shaking your arms above your shoulders sends a signal to your nervous system that you're safe.
Interesting.
Yeah. And she showed this whole video about this like polar bear that gets tranquilized, but this is how they found out about nervous system stuff, by doing like animal studies, that the natural process for it to come out of the anesthesia or the chemicals is its whole body will convulse. And it's because the shock to the system of having all that stress. And when it does this shake, then it takes a big deep breath. And so she uses that to say that we're similar. So if you do like, if you're like really stressed and you're, let's say you've been like working real hard for a few hours and you need kind of a reset, because we're used to kind of push through, and then we crash.
Yeah.
We're trying to prevent that. Instead of like go. And maybe for days or maybe for months, it's like, no, we got to kind of do this instead. So like a few hours, do something to reset, a few hours, you know. And so that's what I think has been really fascinating. And so for me, right, looking at these little videos, and it's like, yeah, like do a little shake, or like this one was really cool. The VOO. So it's like, I don't know if it's the VOO breathing. You kind of breathe in, and then when you breathe out, you go VOO. And the humming does stuff. Oh. And then this motion, like that VOO, goes back to like primal, this is what they say, primal like nerves that like the suckling when you're a baby. And that really like,
really?
I know. So I'm just like, oh my gosh. And it may sound really crazy, but then when I'm like trying it out, because I'm like, I'll try it. Yes. And I'm like, yes. Like you'll feel like, because her whole thing is like, you don't have to focus so hard on the breath. Do things that then a big breath will just naturally come, which is really helpful for like adolescents who are like, I don't want to like breathe, or, you know, people who are really busy and are like, I don't want to just breathe. So it's like, then don't put pressure on breath. Do stuff that helps your body naturally want to take a big, deep breath. And I'm like, yes, I love that.
That is, I'm just blown away.
I know, it's so interesting.
Even like with the littles, like Georgie, she doesn't want to take a deep breath.
I know.
You know, they taught something in school, and I thought that was so clever, but she was like, oh no, I'm not into it. The cooling the soup.
Yeah, that's so cute.
Oh, that's so cute. She's like, it's not a big deal. I'm not into it. But, you know, she has so much energy. Yeah. And I like the idea of like maybe getting her to do some sort of movement.
Yes,
to help her.
Because these same videos that I'm watching, totally appropriate for kids.
Really?
And there's one really good one I want to show you.
Yeah.
This is, because I know you had shared some like nighttime, and this comes in my head all the time where I'm like, oh, I wish I had this answer for you when you asked me that like months ago, which was like,
oh, I still have the question.
Good. I was like, what do you do for like nighttime, right? And it's so true, because even for, I feel like most kids, if it's not an anxious or a jitter before bed, it's just like trying to settle from their day, and they don't want it to end. So there's all kind of reasons why kids like at night like get kind of like anxious or jittery, and so this is a fun one that Linda Tai shared in her training video, but like she learned it from someone else, but she kind of added stuff, and so I thought it's so helpful. So for Lulu, when we're anxious about going to French in the morning, we do it before we go to school. If we're anxious at night, we do it. Also, what I realized, brushing, soft brushing, apparently that's really calming.
Brush with what?
Yeah, so like those baby brushes that are really soft.
Yes.
There's body brushes, but what I realized, there's so many different textures.
Yeah.
And you have to find the exact one. So like
nice
Lulu likes a soft one for her face, but a little harder one for her body. So no lie, before night, and if she's still worked up after we try talking about it, I do that and she falls straight to sleep. And what's so cool is you see her naturally just like, they'll say if you yawn, if you take a deep, big breath, like you start feeling these different things, that means like it's doing its job. And she'll just take these big yawns and then she falls asleep.
Wow.
And now she won't do it herself.
Right.
She wants me to do it.
Of course.
That's okay. We'll start there, right?
Yeah.
But like, I'm just so amazed. Like there's something to this. And so that's been my new fun kind of exploration in the therapy world.
That is so brilliant. Thank you. I'm going to try that.
And I'll share with you the things that I want to share with you is called the rainbow.
The rainbow.
And I think like Georgie would love it.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, this is reminding me of yoga, just in general.
And she talks about that all the time.
Yeah.
She talks about how beautiful yoga regulates yourself.
And that what you just said about it's forcing you to take a deep breath.
Yes.
And then the next step is showing you how to control your breath.
Yes.
And how to control your breath even through adversity.
There you
like
go.
Physical adversity, you can extend it to
so true.
Every part of life.
There's so many things that kind of all connect, right? Like yoga and even some of the practices where I hear them talk a lot about like feeling, in somatic therapy, they'll talk a lot about like trust. You're learning to trust your body, which is then trusting yourself. And then like in yoga, you're like trusting the mat and yourself. And like, I don't know, there's just so many cool things that are all connected.
Yeah, all that stuff. I love that. So somatic, is that word is like feeling?
It's like, and she probably said this beautiful definition. It's like the science of the body responses, nervous system. It's really all around the nervous system in the body. She talks about like all the nerves kind of in your face. So like doing, like when you squint your face and then you stretch it back out, like that's really soothing. No one really talks about the ears, but apparently the ears are really soothing. We hold a lot of tension in your jaw. And so like the nerves all in muscles here. And just like, I guess when I'm like, oh yeah, when I used to get a massage, I would like feel better. But then it's like, oh, there's things I could be doing throughout the entire day. And that's what I love. Like yoga, I can sometimes make time for that. But what about throughout the day when we're moving so fast?
Right.
And so this is what I love, is to find all that cool things and titrate it, and that we can help ourselves get a reset kind of throughout the day.
Yes.
And that's been like one of my biggest new passions to kind of share with all my lovely clients and my stressed, like, cause I only focus with women and like stressed ladies. And I'm like, we're about to get it. We're going to like learn all these cool ways to kind of help ourselves reset, cause we need it.
What's one easy little thing you would tell someone just watching they can start doing?
Absolutely. Okay. So, of course, I have, like, the urge to be like, okay, I got to tell you, like, the podcast lady, everybody know her. Everyone, like, get to know who Linda Ty is. And then, like, some really simple, easy ones that has been life-changing even for me and my clients has been something as simple as tapping. And, like, that's, like, a whole nother thing, too. There's, like, a whole thing about tapping. But really, like, right, it helps you want to naturally breathe, and you're just tapping like for 5 to 10 seconds, and you pause and you take a big deep breath. If you do that at least 3 times or as long as you need to, that has been really amazing. And like there's another one that I really love to go to that people say they like is when you do your basic 7-11 breath, but you have your eyes kind of follow, and anytime you kind of pair your eyes with the breath, it kind of brings it down even faster.
Okay, describe what's the 7-11 breath.
So I would say, so there's a lot of different breaths, right? There's like box breathing, 5, there's 7. 7-11 is actually really hard for me.
Because 7's in and out 11.
And you like pause in and out. It's really hard. I'd have to like practice that to get good at that.
Yeah, to get to that
So
capacity.
I'm not really going to like, I don't even want people to focus on that.
But you could do it like 4, 5, right?
Yeah,
or whatever.
Just do your breathing in, but just have your eyes match it. So yeah, you're like breathe in, and then you're going to imagine that they go like through the ceiling, and then you breathe out and have it match whatever your breathe out is. And then it's going to go through the floor. And if you do that like at least 3 times, that really brings it down quickly. Because people want quick.
Yes.
People want to get calm quick. Yeah. And I think that's my mission now. I want to like study things to bring it to people quick.
Right.
Because what I'm realizing is we're all just overwhelmed and packed in our schedule. And we just need it quick. Mm-hmm. And I need to get so good at it that I can just show them in this session, because then I'll be telling them all this cool stuff and then they don't go look at it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, now I have to know it so that in here, in this moment, because that's how quick. They're like, I just made time for this and that's it.
Right.
And so I'm just like, okay, here, do this, we'll do it together, because everyone is so busy.
Yes, exactly. But that one is easy. Now, I've done, a lot of box breathing, and but the eye movement I've never done. I really like cool. that. And then that forces you to be aware.
And if you're like a mover like me, like just sitting and like meditating isn't, right? For some folks, it doesn't do it, because we got to like get good at settling first. But what about us who aren't there yet?
Right.
Okay, I'm moving. Mm-hmm. I love like the body stuff. She'll have you do like just really cool movements. And that movement that can do this quickly, I think is just amazing. Wow. And that's what I'm like really into right now.
Right. Well, I wanted to ask you about the holidays for tips to cope.
Yes.
I know we've already gone through Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And I saw so much like online.
Yes.
Not really in my family, but I had conversations around it. With the struggles of
it's a big deal.
With
There's
family
so much pressure.
There's so much pressure.
And I expect it. There's this wave that happens, right? And we're all talking about it, and I expect it now. And it's like, okay, now what I'm noticing in the years, there's so much pressure and there's so much expectation. And so it's the pressure that I'm noticing that people feel from family or others. Then there's the pressure of ourselves of what we feel like we need to be doing. And then those folks have their own pressures that they're thinking they need to do, or all the things. There's just so much pressure, so much expectation.
Yeah.
And it's really hard because, for some, they're on different journeys where they're like, I don't know if I want to be doing this every year anymore. Mm-hmm. So then I'm there to help those folks try to like...
Doing the stress or going to the family or anything?
Yeah, just like, I don't know if I want to like hang out with this family like this anymore. Yeah. I don't know what to do with this. It's a lot of how to navigate activating people that you don't want to be around and you're only around at this time of the year. And it sounds like it's really hard too for like new families who have their own family but still feel obligated to do their family way. And so that seems to be really hard, and not wanting to hurt feelings, and then can't be open and honest, and then they like repress all of that, and then it's just like a whole thing.
Yeah.
So that's really hard. And so depending on, and it comes down to like, well, what does progress look like for you this season? Like, we're not looking for perfection, and it isn't going to be a flip of a switch. There might be some things you want to think about working towards, but like what is going to be progress for you this season? And so maybe we explore like, what is the worst parts of all of that? How do we help you take, right? Because my biggest thing is, how do we help you take even better care of yourself as you navigate this journey? Mm-hmm. And so I think that becomes, right, it kind of comes up, and as a parent, what they need to do for themselves this year, what they want to work towards, what's going to be possible this year.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
If we already got our plane tickets, then, we're going to have to talk about some different skills versus, I think I'm like ready to set some different traditions this year and having those conversations.
Yeah.
I like to allow just permission to have options. I really don't want people to ever feel trapped or like I want them to explore their options, even if they're uncomfortable and even if there's something to plan for later. But there's something speaking if you're like, that sounds really good, but I don't know how to get there yet.
Yeah, exactly. Interesting. What do you think is the biggest challenge? Personally, I hear so much of like issues with family members.
Yeah.
But is that it? Or is it, it must be a lot of money stress around this time as well.
So many different things.
So many, right?
So many different things. Yeah. Finances, the economy, politics, religion, you name it, right? Like, is really all kind of coming into play. And then just, the expectations and then just not having a safety of like communication to be able to say, hey, I don't like that. Hey, I do like that. Hey, I don't want to do that. I want to do this instead. There's just not a level of safety in some of these conversations.
I like what you said about, planning for, you don't have to, you're not going to flip the switch today or this year perhaps, but doing one thing this year and then, because it's amazing. Recently, it's more so like with work stuff. I'm thinking in like years. I'm like, oh, look at the progress I've made from this time last year and 2 years ago, where I'm at today, where I might be next year. But I like the whole idea of kind of doing that with your family too. Yeah. A lot of setting boundaries. That's really difficult for people. Like you said, saying how you feel. Yep. I don't like when you talk to me like that.
Yes, please don't talk about that topic that activates me or things like that. And so we just, we work with that. It's like, yeah, what's like the scariest part about that? What's your ideal if you could do it? And then we're just kind of, where do you feel comfortable doing? And what do you feel like you can grow this time? And like, because I think what's most important is get curious about why it matters to you or why it bothers you. Because what people tend to do is shut it down. Oh, that could never happen. I'm not even going to think about it. Or like, that sounds too hard. No. And I really take that as a sign. It's like, okay, that's kind of like fear driving or anxiety driving it. And I want us to get more comfortable and tolerant. And so like, let's just think about it. Let's like think it through. I want you to like, don't just shut it down. There's something there.
Would that be like, I mean, with my family, I've come so far. I used to hold everything in and be like, oh, it's so stressing me out. Like. I do. And now I'm just frank. And I don't have a lot
Was that like a journey?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Of growing up, also becoming a mom and wanting to be a good example for Georgie.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I wanted her to see because I saw, certain people in my family kind of run over the others and be disrespectful of the others. And I've always been like, I want everybody to be happy. Yeah. I'm the only child on my mom's side.
Yeah.
I want everybody to be happy. I don't want you guys to fight. I don't want you to be, and I don't want to be in the middle either.
Yeah.
And so, over the course of, I'm 38 now, all of these years, like this year, I feel so good. I've had a great year.
Yay.
Very great emotionally, especially because I have told my family, like, if there is something that has upset me, I just say it. Yeah. And
so it is possible.
It's possible.
It's possible.
But the other thing that goes along with that, though, the caveat is I also have, I have no expectation that they will change.
Yes. Like you're doing it for you, not that like.
Not trying to
hopefully
change
it fixes everything over there.
Because it won't, because that's their thing.
That's such a big one. That's so big. I think once you can kind of wrap your head around that, it does help empower or at least give you the courage a little bit more to say, okay, I can do it because it isn't about them. This is about advocating for me and my family.
Yes, yes. And that's given me a lot of forgiveness of,
I love that.
Certain family members. The struggles will not go away.
Yeah.
And they're not going to change unless they want to change themselves.
Yeah.
But I can be with them. I can forgive whatever. And I can set boundaries.
Yeah.
And when boundaries are broken, I can just remind them.
Yes.
But I just don't hold it. I just don't hold it. I mean, I kind of can be light with it now. Like I'll get really frustrated. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
I'll get upset. I'll get frustrated. All the things.
Yeah.
But I let it out and I can be, it just feels lighter.
I love that because it's like doing the natural thing to like move through your body.
Yeah.
Because when we do this, it's like a pile up and it gets stuck. But if we just like, if we can like think it through and listen it out and then like say the thing, it's just like that feels like the natural progression for it to come and then go.
Yeah, exactly.
And that sounds like maybe that lightness, right, that comes from it, which is like, oh, maybe that's how it's supposed to
maybe.
be.
Like, this is new. This is nice. And I've gotten a little carried away where I'm like telling someone how I feel, but it feels so good to tell them how I feel. And I don't want to stop, even though the message is across.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and this, and also this, and this other thing. Do you remember that?
Oh, my gosh.
All the stuff.
We tend to do all the way this before this. That's such a normal thing. Yeah, we're like here and then we go here and then we'll get here eventually. We'll
get here eventually. I'm curious though. Like I said, I wanted to sort of change how I feel around this and how I, deal with family because of my daughter. But I am curious what your professional opinion on.
Yes.
So how do I can be an example, right? But. So Georgie, she is, she's used to being, with me and her dad and like school all the time, right? She doesn't spend that much time with our other family members, with the exception of like my niece, right? Who's also a tiny little kid. So, but with the adults, we have a certain family dynamic in my family that is different than our immediate little family, right? So when we go from our home to either my parents' home, there's a totally different dynamic. And I fit right in because I was raised that way. But I feel like she needs to be around them more often. But there are a lot of things that I can understand her like is discomfort.
Yeah.
But
is it like the loudness? Like what?
No,
what
it's
is
like
it exactly?
the teasing.
Oh, yes.
My dad is a tease.
Okay.
And you know, it's like he's just so sweet. He's the sweetest. But he is a tease, and he's kind of expecting you to sort of tease back.
Gotcha.
She does not like that.
Oh,
and she doesn't know how to handle that.
Yeah.
And so she's like,
oh no.
He Pops teases too much. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I don't know how to like make her comfortable with it. And I don't want to like discount how she feels.
And have you ever talked to him about it?
No. No.
Yeah. I'm curious, what do you think he would say if you were like, she doesn't understand what that means.
Right.
Because you're doing it out of love, but she doesn't understand that
That's a good idea. I should ask him. He's very compassionate, so he'll probably be like, oh,
because I think it's
really?
a both, right? It's kind of helping them both kind of like acknowledge it, because I wonder if that can kind of help them, right?
Yeah.
With it. It's like you're telling her it's out of, this is out of love, and maybe you have stories of how you learned that in your own way. And then, right, and then you're letting him know, it sounds like she was finding her connection, but that gets kind of in the way.
Yes.
And then if he knows that, I'm sure he would probably
pare it down.
And then she's getting, so you're kind of trying to bridge them.
I think that's a good first step.
Yeah.
I think if it's a certain parents might not be able to, they're not able to reflect on themselves. They'll brush it aside and gaslight, say, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
But my dad is not like that.
Yeah. And I think that's what you're leaning on, because, I think what's really cool to do with kids is to acknowledge they notice something. I think that's so important. Oh, you notice that difference in how he speaks and her kind of inner dialogue, because they have such a short little inner dialogue now, right? When you're growing up, we have like a Rolodex of why we probably think the way we do, but for them, it's still so small and it's developing. And so, but, they'll kind of put already, which is so amazing, this negative. He's doing it maybe because he doesn't like me, or I'm a bad kid, right? So I'd be curious to ask her, like what do you think why that's happening? And then you're able to say like, oh no, that's not it. But good noticing, because I'm sure like in the future, some people are going to be mean, and we have to learn who's doing that to be mean, or, and then who's really just kidding. And right now we're going through that with Lulu. So I think it's this age of like 7, 6 is kind of it, where they notice so much more, but they're not able to make sense of it yet.
Right.
And so like for her, Peter will tend to, he's a laugher. He laughs when he's kind of like filling space or anxious or things. But we're kind of learning that, because of his family and how he was raised, like he's not used to how he thinks how sweet and funny me and Lulu can be with each other, or she'll say the funniest things. And there's some days she just is like, you're laughing at me. And she gets really upset at him. And it is because it's like, his family does it too. And it can sound kind of off-putting, but we've had to really help her, like, yeah, Daddy doesn't mean to be mean. He would never like laugh at you like a bully.
Right.
But you're noticing this laughing, and she's noticing like only you do it at this weird particular time. So they're so smart. Like
they are.
You notice this, but we're here trying to rewrite, like it isn't just a negative mean thing. But I think it's interesting because you used to kind of think, oh, I don't know, like you had to have all these awful things happen to you, and then you think this really negative thing, but somehow they just lose like that for the moment, and we're there to kind of help. No, it could be a lot of other reasons. Yes. Right? It isn't just someone being mean.
You know what she has an issue with too is the spotlight. So I wonder if, when it seems like...
Yeah, like it's like, oh no, a negative thing.
Right. Yeah. Because it's uncomfortable perhaps. Like to be...
I wonder if it's their own little protection, right? Their own little voice internal is trying to be like, protect them. Right. And maybe they had like a few, like, and you know what? It is even just what they've experienced, them being in school.
Yes, they could see it,
whatever they witnessed. Right. So like... So-and-so had a similar tone. They were being mean. Oh, he's being mean to me.
And that they got in trouble.
Somebody got in trouble. They laughed at so-and-so. Oh, no, he's laughing at me.
Yes.
So it's like softening the edges and like really expanding their perspective. Right. Which is what I still do with adults now. So it's like if we can do that now with them, I'm really excited to see. And I had what really jolted this in me is when she was gosh, I remember talking about this when she started noticing in preschool when teachers, it's almost like this turned on for her, but it really stressed her out because she's like, the voices when they get elevated and they change. And then she was like, I'm a bad kid. Everyone's mad at me. And I'm like, no, that's not it. And so I'm like, okay, I felt the mission of like, how do I help her expand that view? And so we started saying, okay, let's think of all the reasons why people's voice change. Okay, they're stressed, they're tired. So every time she'd come home and say, oh, I think I got fussed out. It's like, well, let's look what happened. What was the teacher doing? Well, yeah, like so-and-so wasn't listening and so-and-so wasn't listening and like all the things. And I was like, so what do you think happened? And then eventually she was like, oh yeah, I think she was really tired that day. And I'm like, wow, it's a win, right? Because it's like, it isn't because you're a bad kid, right? It's and even when we think that, there's always so much more happening behind the scenes. Right. And I really want to push, right? It seems like that's not a natural thing for us to do. And I want to like help that.
Ooh, and that also like brings that compassion in because it's so much. I'm always trying to teach her the golden rule, you know,
and empathy, right?
Empathy, yes. It's like if you can make sense of why somebody else is doing something, yes,
and like even simple things like when we ask how your day is, and then I'll say, okay, did you ask Daddy how his day was? Unless you don't know, right? She doesn't know. And then she starts doing it on her own. And I notice the difference because we have like a neighbor and they don't act that way. Yeah. And I saw one time her and her little neighbor playing and like the friend came from a thing and it was like, oh, how did it go? Or when she's leaving, oh, I hope you have fun at that thing. Or how did it go?
So nice.
But they never never like ask her that.
No.
And so I'm just like, okay, so like they do soak in what you put out.
Yes.
And like, there's always kind of a teachable moment happening.
Yep.
And so kind of being on the lookout for that.
And then the friend will learn too, right?
From this exchange.
From her, from Lulu.
Right.
Like Lulu always asks me how I'm doing. Oh, that's so
it's
sweet.
like, oh my gosh, like it's just such a powerful thing. And it doesn't have to be these grand one-time conversations. Right. These are like little things in passing, like throughout the day.
That also reminds me, so Georgie, she doesn't like she doesn't like compliments. Do you know what that's all about?
So give me an example.
None.
So like you're
only from me, by the way. I'm sometimes.
Okay, so you're the exception.
I'm pretty much the exception for everything. Sometimes.
So like what is she saying? What happened?
Like so she has this beautiful pink coat. Okay. It's like a, very like old fashioned like Christmas, like what we would wear in the 90s. And she worked at school recently. It's beautiful. And she got compliments the whole time. She was like walking there and then coming home after. And she loves it. But she's like, but people kept complimenting me all day. Or like when she wore her hair out of braids and a big like afro. I just got so many compliments. She doesn't want people to like see her in a way.
Yeah, you mentioned the like spotlight.
Yes, exactly.
What about in dancing when she does dancing?
If they're like, you're doing a great job, I don't know.
And she's able to perform.
She loves to perform. She loves
and she doesn't care. She's like on the stage.
Nope.
Okay.
No.
So it's not.
She very much a leader. Like in ballet, they say she's like, if someone else is being challenged, they'll put them with her because she'll help them, and Yeah,
I'm curious. Whatever her inner dialogue is, it's like,
I'm so curious.
Yeah, like what when they do, because it's kind of like they're putting her up here, and I wonder if that is uncomfortable.
Yeah, it might be
because then I'm separate, then I'm like different, and I feel like for kids, it's all about. We got to be together.
Really?
Because this is dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah,
right?
So maybe this is something like that.
Now, interesting. She is okay when you compliment her on things that she has made. Like if she's painted a
So there's a difference from what I do and how I like maybe look?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so, it's really hard. I try to, be mindful of that. Yeah. And I also try to use this language that I learned about not long ago because it's such a millennial parent thing, but saying good job and like you really worked hard on that and like instead of like things that are what are the things like, oh, you're so pretty. I mean I do say that, I'm sorry.
I know, I do too.
Can't help it.
I was never told it, so
really?
So it's gonna be, I was like, other people's moms noticed that and tried to pour it in, and so I was like, I don't know, I think there's a balance. I think there's this fear of like they're going to think they're to this or they're to that. And I think it's just about like, A, what's that about you that you're so worried about those things? B, there's a balance. And one of my favorite things is like, what's the middle? Like if I'm so worried about this or this, but what's like the middle look like? Because we do such extremes. And I think there's a lot of societal extremes, and it's like, what's the middle? And so that's kind of my mantra all the time. And I feel like that fits for a lot of situations. Yes. So even with that, it's like, no, I think it is important because it's just, especially, don't even get me started about being a woman.
Right.
Like, don't even get started about that. Like, that's going to happen and come out, or we're going to feel it, and we're going to, like, it's important somehow in some way. Mm-hmm. How can we do that, right, in a modeled, healthy way for them?
Yeah, I think, like you said, modeling is so much. Like, they
and
just learn so much.
Conversations, like, it isn't just this is it, and it stays. Mm-hmm. It's the relationship, right? So, like, the relationship you have with her that, like, you're noticing that she gets this, like, right, little uncomfortable about these things, your relationship is going to be a part of how you start, knowing what questions to ask or like how to support her, right? And these conversations that like keep happening, and like just like focusing on being in tune is so important. When we're so worried about doing the wrong thing or the right thing, or like too much of this or too little of that, if I stay in tune, I'm going to notice. Because I think we're good at noticing when things are kind of not balanced. We're always kind of checking for that, I feel like. Because, I don't know, extremes kind of set alarm bells in us, right? And so, I don't know, that attunement really helps simplify it for me. And then trusting, I'm going to catch it and know how to, if I don't know the answer, I'm going to go ask someone. Or I'm going to figure that part out. But I notice this and I want to lean into that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Did you see the new movie on Netflix? I think it's called In Your Dreams.
She has, because her the neighbor has. I've been in and out while she has.
Okay.
But then I saw a post of like one of the little therapy family things, and they were just like, "Oh my gosh, shout out! This movie is like a really good example of a lot of things." And so I was like, "Oh, okay."
I thought so.
So
we watched it together first, and then since then she's seen it like 4 more times. And and this is only in 1 week. That's the only movie during the break that she would watch.
Yeah,
she watched it at my dad's house all alone, like. Nope, all the other kids didn't want.
They
were on
their
their
phones. It's really empowering, right? About these fears and stuff.
And also, so for people who haven't seen it, I do recommend watching it if you've had children. But so it's about a little girl. She's the protagonist, and her little brother. The little girl's older. I think she's like a tween or something. Yeah. She picks up on the parents growing apart and potentially separating and getting divorced.
Yes.
And they find this book in this, in the basement of this bookstore, little bookstore. Yeah. And it's about the Sandman. Okay. And they open it and they read, and it says that if you find the Sandman in your dreams, then he will answer. He will give you anything you wish for, anything. And they that night they go home. They take the book. The little boy steals it. They go home and they end up in each other's dream.
Wow.
And they wake up and they're like, I was having this dream. I was having that dream too. Was it real? We were together for real?
Wow.
And they realize they can essentially lucid dream together. And, they have this task, there's this goal of getting to the Sandman.
Oh my gosh.
They have to get through Night Mara, who is, the nightmares.
Yeah.
And to the Sandman. And the interesting part is that, now, sorry, it's a spoiler alert. Okay, so press, go 15 seconds forward if you don't want to hear this. But the Sandman is the good guy, right? The Sandman is the one who's going to answer any of your dreams. Yeah. And they get to him, and the girl asks for her parents to stay together for them to be a happy family forever. Ooh. And he basically, she goes in to a coma. She won't wake up.
Oh no.
And she's trapped in that perfect life. Uh-oh. But she is conscious, and she recognizes this isn't real. This isn't my real family. This is a dream, but I can't escape it because this is what I wish for. And the Sandman, he, long story short, they eventually get her out. But the brother, remember, he can dream with her, so he comes to her rescue in the dream. But the Sandman, when they're fighting him, trying to free the girl from her dream, the Sandman is so still but all I want is for people to be happy. This is all I'm doing it for. He doesn't intend to hurt her. He's only wanting to, allow people to live their dreams. Yeah. But what you find is that, the reason I thought of it is we're talking about parenting. Yeah. And how often is it as a parent that we want to have everything perfect for our child. Yeah. We want to take away all the hurt and all the pain, and we want to protect them from anything that could potentially go wrong. Yeah. And if we can't do it, we take on the anxiety of maybe not being able to do it.
Mm-hmm. I failed.
I failed. Oh no, I'm a bad parent. All these things. But even if you were able to make it all just right, it wouldn't be life, right? And so the little girl, she learns that lesson. Wow. And I don't know if the Sandman learns a lesson. I doubt it. I don't know.
And I also love what I'm hearing is like looking to each other for the resources and not a savior.
Yes.
Like we used our resources and our love or support or like us figuring our skills and strengths and how to cope with it versus go and like have someone else kind of just fix it all.
Yes. Yeah. And in the end, another spoiler, the parents stay together.
Okay.
But they, it's not perfect.
It's not perfect. It didn't fix it.
No.
Yeah.
They were able to, reunite and kind of, but it's not perfect.
It still takes work.
It still takes work. And that's the lesson of the movie.
Things are still going to hurt. You're going to fall. You're going to
and that's life.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful and it's okay. And we can accept these challenges, which I think is so beautiful for a kid's movie.
It is. It really is because, oh my God. I feel like I have to watch, I don't want to knock Disney movies.
I know.
But I know.
This is not a Disney movie.
I know. And it's just because from my time, right, that's what it was. I am so jealous of the realm of media they get now versus what I had.
Totally
it was just
different.
Man Save the Day, fantasy, all this stuff. And you're learning that you have the resources and your support system and I don't know, it's just so different.
It's totally different. Yeah. We, our kids love K-pop Demon Hunters. And even that, I'm not sure if they get these lessons in the same way that we do as we watch it. But, love overcoming evil, even the evil demon, he even had it in himself still.
I know. That is Peter's favorite part.
That's
He's just how complex, and it's not just a clean white or black. There's this gray that it's this wrestle, and it's just, and that's so life. It's so gray.
Yes.
And so I think I agree.
Beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
I love that movie. I was first K-pop Demon Hunters, this is violent.
I know. I thought it was going to be terrifying.
Right?
And it was the most empowering movie I've ever seen.
It's spiritual, very spiritual.
Yes. And the music.
Right. We
just
love the soundtrack.
It's spiritual.
Yes.
That song, Golden, I don't know if you've seen the journey. I mean, it's still happening on how it's affecting everyone. But I'm hearing constantly these new stories of how people are this has changed their lives.
No, I haven't heard that.
And to the point on people's this is really dramatic, but on their deathbeds are asking for this song.
Really?
Because this is changing people's lives. And the singer is being told this and she's just so overwhelmed with just how much this is truly touching people.
They did a fantastic.
I know.
Cheers to those people, whoever made that movie.
The whole team.
We love it.
We love it. Keep doing it.
Oh, I know. Give us more.
It has changed ours and people's lives.
Exactly. It's I've been recommending it to adults.
I know.
And they're I'm have you seen it? They're no, but I've heard of it. I saw it on Netflix.
I know.
Watch it. I know you're 50.
I know.
Watch it.
It's life-changing for everyone.
It's life-changing.
There's something for everyone in there.
Yeah. Well, okay. So speaking of the holidays, that's a great movie to watch. Both of those are great movies to watch if people are going home for the holidays or going to have time off.
Get cozy and just, have a movie family time.
I miss last week being off for the break. How was your break?
Oh, it was good. I mean, everyone's trying to feel healthy.
Oh.
Peter and Lulu have been sick for a month.
Right.
So they're trying to get it together. And then, of course, it's the busiest season for me. And so we're all doing our juggling and doing all the things. But we went to Chattanooga.
Oh, that's right.
And then we went to that. I don't know if you remember. I told you this 2 years ago. We went to that farm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Was it the goats?
It was this farm we stayed on Thanksgiving. And it was so magical. And so we went to someone already booked it for Thanksgiving. And it's 30 minutes from Chattanooga. So we're we'll just go to Chattanooga. And then on the way back, we'll stay a night.
Yes.
It was rainy and cold the whole day. And she... Bless her heart. she like, it was just a very different experience because she's like, well, we kind of have a rat problem now.
Oh my gosh.
And like everyone
really?
is kind of in cages and like away.
She needs cats.
And she does. And this wonderful cat we fell in love with called Baby Yoda had to stay in a little cage because they can't eat the medicine or catch things with medicine in it now.
Right.
So everyone's kind of, it was rainy and it was cold.
Bummer.
Lulu loved it anyway, but I was just like, oh no, I miss all these animals being out and about.
Next year.
Yeah, she said next year she'll hopefully have it all better.
Yeah. Okay, so we went to an animal sanctuary. It was amazing. We didn't go last week for Thanksgiving. We went like 2 weeks before Thanksgiving for their Thanksgiving celebration where they honor the animals, the turkeys and the pigs mostly.
I love that. Where is this?
Next year, please come with us. It's like an hour and a half south of Atlanta.
Okay.
And it's called Full Circle Farm Sanctuary.
Amazing.
Beautiful. And we've been before, but the first time we went, it was really cold and JJ was like 3 or something, 4. I think she was 4. It was 2 years ago. And, you know, those animals are huge and she was a little nervous and she didn't really connect with them.
Yeah.
This time at 6 years old, oh my gosh.
Change.
Yeah. I didn't even think she likes animals until now I realized she likes animals.
Oh my gosh.
She was in the enclosures, like the people working there. Because it's really so these are all rescued animals from factory farms.
Yes.
You know, this is kind of sad. This is very sad. But a lot of times animals will, like, especially baby cows and even like what they call spent cows, like once they're no longer producing enough milk, they will just toss them in the trash, like literally in the trash. Yeah. And these animal welfare organizations go around and take these animals and give them a new life. And that's what this place is. So beautiful animals with incredible, like, harrowing stories.
Oh my gosh.
But they're so kind and just like, it's just
I love it.
Love. Like, oh my gosh.
I need to know.
Yes, please come with us next year. It'll be so fun.
That sounds beautiful.
And this time it was perfect weather. Like 70 degrees.
Love it.
I hope next year we'll see, but we should go anyway.
Yeah, totally.
But these kids, I mean, they are naturally they naturally love animals. And I think exposing, even if you don't have your own pets at home, but exposing them to animals, especially, you know, I'm not a zoo girl, but especially in, you know, these situations where you hear about the animal stories. Yeah. And I'm not trying to like proselytize to all the non-vegans or vegetarians. Yeah. But, you know, it's life changing. It really, really is. Yeah. So I wanted to, one thing I was like, I have to talk to her about this. Okay. Is internal family systems. We were just talking about movies and Inside Out.
Yes. And talking about different parts. Yes.
Different parts. So let me give you my background so the listeners know. And then I want you to tell us what it is. But
gotcha.
Many years ago, I had a therapist. I don't even know how I found her, but she was in England and she was like a Buddhist monk. Cool. I think I wanted somebody who was like spiritual and I'm a yogi and all that. Yeah. So I hired her. She was amazing. And she introduced me to internal family systems. And it was the first time I'd ever heard of it. And it was a great, like, it's just a most amazing frame to like see yourself. I love it. So can you tell us more like what it is, why it works, and how it works?
So internal family systems, right? So Dick Schwartz, who created this beautiful theory or model, and it is, you know, and of course he has a million videos and things if you want a deeper dive kind of in that and probably the proper definitions of some of these things. Though how I described it and how I embody it as just like another way to connect and help people, right? Like you say, this like reframe, you know, it's a lot about, that every thought and feeling can be looked at in the lens of protection. And I think just that alone has been life-changing for me. My own personal therapist, I make sure is IFS trained. Because when I think back in my younger self and like in my 20s, I was so stuck in so many like negative kind of thinking and like, oh man, because I think that I, you know, that's a bad part of me. And that's such a common thing, right? And it's like, if you have a negative feeling, you hear like that's bad and you should put it away and you should like never like think like that or shut that down or kick that out. And this, like, that doesn't work for everyone. And I know it didn't work for me. And what it tends to do is it really amps it up.
Yes.
And so this I found so helpful because no matter what topic I'm talking about, wherever you're kind of stuck in, the framing of like, I wonder how that's protecting you. Just like, oh my gosh,
right?
It's life-changing. And we'll do this beautiful timeline and go all the way back, and every time makes sense.
Wow.
Every time.
So I just to visualize it for people, I always think about the movie Inside Out.
Just like that.
So if you've seen Inside Out, it helps because it's like the different parts of yourself inside all trying so hard.
Yes. To be seen and heard.
To be seen and heard
or
and protect you.
Yeah. Protect, seen and heard.
Yeah.
And it's like, no matter what we're talking about, you can kind of look at that lens. And I just think that's so helpful. And it's been so helpful for me. And I just see that, it's just so transformative for people. Because there's like an alleviation of pressure of like, oh, I'm not a bad person.
Right.
And like, oh, I'm not like the only one who thinks or feels that way. Or, oh, that makes sense why I think and feel that. And then the next step, how do I then start to learn to like appreciate that story, like love this part eventually, like become friends with this part? I call it like your internal team. This is your internal team. I want you to be like the CEO at the head of your table. Here at every day, you're going to have a table full of different people at it. And I want, just like you would talk to a friend, like, hey, what's going on today? And whoever's the loudest, because they're having hard times, we're going to like have a relationship. And we're going to talk it through, and we're going to like see what needs to like, what do you need from me to feel more supported and taken care of?
Yes.
And like, that's a framework I think can like really be transformative.
It's like for me, it clicked, I think the first time she told me about it, and it was in the frame, I can't remember exact situation,
right?
But I remember it being like, let's say it was anxiety.
Yeah.
About, I don't remember what it was, but let's say it was anxiety about work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or health or something. And the way to like, focus in on where is that coming from? And then almost like, for me, I almost put a face to it or see it just like another part of me, of course.
Absolutely.
And then have the conversation with like, I hear you.
Yep.
Tell me more about this.
Yes.
Why do you think this?
Yes.
And then two things. It's like, one, am I doing something? Like, is this a legitimate concern?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do I need to do something to make it safer for us? And if not, how can I tell you? How can I, communicate it to you that I have taken care of it?
That I got it.
I got it.
That's right. That, you're here, you're my team. They're used to, if you're not kind of plugged in, they're kind of taken over because they think that's what they need to do to keep you safe. But if you're like, oh, I'm plugged in and I got it, thinking that's a great point, I'll think about it. And sometimes you're like, yeah, that is a really good point, right? They're really smart. And they're like, hey, think about this. And you're like, sure, let me think about it. And I think, getting comfortable in that way, it's also building tolerance. Some people really don't like certain feelings at their table, and trying to have people like build tolerance for like, like fear can sit at the table. Shame can sit at the table. Guilt, that's a hard one, right? Can sit at the table. And like to build tolerance to like let them sit at the table is also huge too. Because those are the ones we don't really want there. Yeah. It can be really difficult. But this is a nice, safe, like, we're going to do it in steps and pieces. And one day I hope they can sit at your table.
All together.
That's right.
Have you heard the saying, what you resist persists?
Oh, yeah.
That's that. It's like, I'm pushing it away. Like, I don't want to look at that thing.
That's the thing, right? Like, it's like, no, they're going to like keep saying, hey, you're not listening to me. Hey, you're not listening to me. And it just kind of continues. And I feel like everyone can relate to that. And everyone can be like, oh yeah, that happens. Yeah. I've yet met anyone that's like, no, that never happens to me.
Never. Yeah, exactly.
So that's really cool too, is that for some reason, this is so universal that everyone can relate to that.
Yeah, exactly. It also brings me, so for people who listen to this podcast a lot, because this is episode 13.
Yes, yay.
So you might have heard this before, but I, as a yogi, there's a yogi who I love so much, Michael Singer, and he wrote the book, The Untethered Soul. And it's, it starts off, and really his whole teaching is about how, you have all these thoughts in a day, right? Yeah. And the thoughts are thoughts. You don't have to connect with every single one of them. I like to combine the two, the internal family systems in that, because the thoughts are like the voices going through my head from my team.
That's right.
But I don't need to even connect with each one of them. I can let them pass. Did I told you the ChatGPT story, right?
Let's see.
I think so. So I was trying to explain that to Georgie.
Oh.
And she was like, huh? And it spooked her because it's like, huh, what? Like, and so I went on ChatGPT and I was like,
nice.
You know, I'm a devotee of Michael Singer and I want to describe his teaching and explain it to my 6-year-old.
Oh my gosh.
How would you recommend that I do that?
Yeah.
And Chat was like, would you like me to write you a little bedtime story for her? And I was like, okay, yeah.
My
yes.
gosh.
I'll send it to
work?
you.
That
Brilliant.
Is so cool.
In the Chat GPT, not that I'm like an AI, I'm
but
not
it's nice to know where to use it helpfully.
Yes, that part. Amen.
Yeah.
Nice to know where to use it helpfully.
Yes.
So this was a great way to use it. And it gave me this beautiful story. And it said, you know, there was a girl, and it like insert your child's name, who sat in the safest, most cozy, comfortable treehouse. And she looked out the treehouse, and there were birds and clouds going by. And each bird and each cloud is a thought. And they just passed.
Oh my gosh.
They just passed.
So
and the little girl, if she wanted, let's say a bird came by about something creative, right? Like painting and rainbows and unicorns. She could get on the back of the bird and fly away with it, and then always know she can come home to the treehouse.
Oh my gosh.
And or if there's a dark cloud going by saying something scary or mean or hurtful, she has a choice whether or not she's going to jump on the cloud and float away with it. But even if she does decide to get on the cloud and float away down the dark, scary path, she always has the freedom to get off and immediately be back in her safe place.
That is so cool.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's a perfect way to...
What did she think of it?
She loved it. I haven't read it to her for a while, but guess what, Monique?
What?
I kid you not.
Okay.
She told one of her friends this story.
Bravo.
Right? I was like, oh, you listen.
They totally soak it
That
in.
was my proudest moment. Thank you, ChatGPT, for the help.
That is amazing.
I know, but it is true. It is true. Like, you know, mental health issues are at an all-time high in our country. And there are myriad reasons why. But I think fundamentally, as somebody who has had mental health challenges, depression years ago, one thing that helped me with it, I always had therapy, and that helped, of course. Sure. But one thing that really helped me was, I don't know why, but I always had a sense of my, like, the witness, you know? So in my depression, I would feel the things I felt numb, a lot of numbness and like dread and hopelessness. But for whatever reason, I always was more, in a way, identified with. I recognize that I'm the witness. I don't know how it's interesting. And then once I was getting out of it, I was able to make even more connection with that witness. I think yoga was helpful because I started yoga in 2008 around this time, which fostered this idea of you are the witness. You are not the thoughts. You are not the feelings. You are the witness to all of that's going on inside and around you. And then learning about internal family systems, another level to that. Like, wow.
Well, you're like more than those things.
Yes. Yeah. And now I can speak to these things inside of me. Now I can really confront and keep them safe. Yeah. Which gives me full, like, oh man. And then I discovered Michael Singer, and that deepened my yoga practice as well.
Yeah, that body movement too.
Yeah, all of this together. It's like, wow.
That's a beautiful combination.
Empowering. Yeah. I have... And even like for these days, something that I've been really grateful for is to go through a challenge, like hard stuff, whatever it might be, and just go through it. You know?
I can do hard things.
I can just, this is going to be, I'm going to have to grieve. I'm going to have to be angry. I'm going to have to whatever. But I'm just not going to fight it. Yeah. And I recognize that this is going to pass. And I'm not going to pretend like it doesn't hurt and all of these. I'm just going to go through it. Yeah. I'm going to be whatever that is. Yeah. 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 I love that. It's been a good year for me for emotional things. Yeah.
Well,
thank you. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. I love that. Because I know that's not easy. That takes a lot of work.
Yes.
Right.
But
to kind of show up for yourself.
At 38 years, I finally am getting it.
Yay.
And being a parent is just so helpful.
Keeps us accountable.
It does.
For sure.
And the
There's
challenges.
eyes looking at us.
Yes.
Every day.
Yes. We want to actually be like our best selves.
I know.
And even if, another thing, even if we aren't our best selves, for people who are listening.
Because I get tired and sometimes I'm not. Yeah.
We're not always.
Yeah.
But, our kids are on their own journeys too.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, no. She sure is teaching me a lot.
Right.
She's teaching me a lot too.
So we don't have to be like the Sandman and make everything perfect.
Can we do it together?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this journey. Look at this journey we're on.
Yes.
Are you taking more clients?
So right now, with like doing that and then like the online, teaching and then doing the assessments.
Yes.
My assessments are kind of booming right now.
Good.
So I'm usually I tell everyone I have a little bit of waiting list right now until the first of the year and see how it goes.
Yeah. Do you only have people in Georgia?
Yes.
Okay.
Only in Georgia.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
And it's been amazing. Like mostly the same crew since COVID.
Wow.
I know.
5 years. That's awesome.
Know. It's been really, really nice. And I think what helps is like, I'm really still hungry to learn and grow as a therapist and share what I learn and grow. And I think that helps keep it fresh and I don't know, I hope helpful still.
That's your curiosity, like full circle.
That's right.
I love how you always, you're such a giver. That's curiosity and the giver.
Yeah.
So I want to, because we've talked about so many like gyms.
Yes.
And I want to,
Where do we go
summarize.
next? Okay.
So we talked about the somatic, right?
Yes.
So for people who are, you're stressed, you're sitting around on the computer a lot, like working, whatever that might be, in traffic, whatever.
Yes.
You talked about.
Yes. Oh my gosh. There's so many different things to kind of learn, but it's like, get curious about the somatics. Like I would say like, these videos I've stumbled upon on YouTube, sheBREATH. And once you get really good, like I don't know, and some are 5 minutes, some are like 10 minutes, some are 25 minutes. But you start to, you got to learn your own nervous system. So even what I say today, I'm learning that that's what my body likes.
Right.
And she'll give you all these really cool things to try, but then I'm hoping you custom make your own. And so what I'm doing is like in traffic, I'm like VU breathing, and I am before bed, I'm like rubbing my ears and like I'm just sprinkling it throughout the day. And, do my tapping, and I'm kind of trying out different ones to see how it feels. And then I'm trying like, when do I have a little more time? When do I have like no time? Like there was one that she said like to just like this motion. And then there's the safe havening is when you just kind of embrace and you can kind of like give yourself a squeeze and then you kind of let go and you give yourself a squeeze. And so like your nervous system doesn't register that this isn't a hug from someone else.
Oh, really?
So it still really is getting all of the like endorphins and the good vibes from you doing it. So if I'm in traffic and I'm stressed, right, I can just like do this and I can give myself a little squeeze, right? And then she says, pay attention, then like rocking will start happening because that's kind of the natural means you're coming down. And so then a big breath will like emerge. And so like that's how simple it can be. And so I'm like so excited to kind of keep doing that. And like there's some that doesn't work. Like one was like, like press your thumb. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. And then it was like, do that for so many minutes and then like do the other one. I'm like, okay, I'll try it. And so, it's just like kind of, but what, works for me may not work for everyone. But I think the main goal is like learn your nervous system and know and have hope. There's little things we can do every day throughout the day. Cause I know we're all like speed doing everything fast. And I don't, though, what I see people do is they're like, I'll just wait till I can go to my yoga class, or I'll wait till my next vacation, or I'll wait till I'm off next weekend. And I'm like, no, we gotta do it throughout the day. So like, let's keep finding little things that work for us.
That's so good. That's so good. And then we talked about the being with your family too for the holidays. Yeah. Can I say, and I'm curious if you will support this.
Sure.
Watch like just feeling the feels and just like being able to be like, oh, I feel that. And just do it. Just feel it.
And then I'm kind of the next part of that is like, and then how to take good care of yourself.
Yes.
Right. Like allow yourself to feel whatever you need to feel, but then think like, oh, okay. So if I'm like in this table and everyone's like doing this and I really like don't like it. Okay. I'm feeling uncomfortable. Do I need to take a walk? Do I need to go to the bathroom? Do I need to like pinch my thumb under the table? Like oh yeah, this was another cool one. If you just like cup your thumb, she said this kind of can like be really comforting for some because it's like, yeah, the suckling of like when you used to suck your thumb as a baby.
I definitely did that.
So if you do that, yeah, maybe. So she's like, you can do that under the table.
I like how that feels.
Yeah.
I love that.
And you can do that, hide it in your pocket, right? And if you have a pocket, you can kind of do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's just like, I'm really just really interested in these little things that you can do anywhere and nobody has to know your business. Yes. And yeah, because I think the goal is like, how do I take even better care of myself in an uncomfortable or hard situation?
Because you cannot.
Right, you can't like avoid them. And so
yeah. Because I think we've talked about it. I still drink, but like really rarely, right? But the holidays is a time where it's like most of us
in your face.
I used to like
yeah.
Every like multiple glasses of wine every time I see my family.
Yeah.
Every time they come here, I go there, or wherever.
Yeah.
But these tools for me, like in this whole year, this is my year of not drinking a lot by accident. I didn't plan it.
I know.
But these tools have made it so like, oh, I don't really want that.
I know. Like same. I haven't had a drink in a really long time, and it was on accident kind of too. But I like, I like sweeties more, and like that's really what I have to watch out for. But it didn't really change anything. I guess I was tired of it not making me feel better. And I think getting more in tune with my body, I don't want to be like separate from it like that anymore. And so like what I do with it and like drinking just kind of disconnects me a little bit from it. Like I didn't want to do that anymore.
Yes. I mean, literally, I feel the same.
Yeah.
I feel the same.
It's interesting. Not that that's bad or good for anyone who's doing that. I think it just comes down like, what's good for me?
Yeah.
I think that's the question, right? Like, you know, for others, it might be what might be good for me is I don't have like 4, I have like 3, or maybe I just, I have 1 or none.
Or when you're with someone.
Exactly.
You know, like the Europeans, they drink together.
Yeah.
And it's jovial and happy and I'm trying to shove my feelings down.
Like I want others to not be afraid, because I know when I say like, I want you to be more intentional and know why you do what you do. But then people are like, no, because then it gets really scary if I do that. Then it's like, but I also want you to like work towards the courage to do that. Right. If that is scary, like I want you to know why you do what you do, or like want to know that. And because I think there is a lot of like, I don't know why I do that. And then it's about us slowing it down, and the answers are all there. But it's like the slowing it down and get curious and using those other kind of parts of yourself to like answer those questions.
Yes. Okay, for folks trying to do a 2026 New Year's resolution, I feel like these
I know my clients hate this question. Really? When I ask them, what do you want to do this year? They're just like, I hate when I ask this question. But it's so important.
Yes. I mean, especially when they're tools, things like this.
I know.
I don't really like I'm going to lose 50 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, I like more emotional, spiritual stuff.
Yeah.
Because then even if it's like, because if I wanted to lose 50 pounds, then what is in the way? Like,
why is that meaningful to me?
Right.
Yes.
Why is it meaningful? Yes. I mean, if I'm overweight, like maybe like what is like you got to get to the bottom of it first.
It's not that simple.
It's not that simple. And I'm not just gonna like pop a pill.
That's right. Well, that's what is kind of happening.
Yes, that is what's happening
these days. Yeah.
So, okay, just a little side note on that. A lot of the people who I know who are on Ozempic and weight loss drugs, it's taken their desire for alcohol.
Away?
Also, yes, alcohol and food. And so, you know, some of these people have used alcohol to cope. So now they're looking for tools to cope, which is kind of good.
Yeah.
Because now, you're not alone. That's right. There are lots of tools.
That's right.
And then I'm Ozempic. I see a lot of like potential too with it, you know?
Okay.
But the problem is we live in America, and like the pharmaceutical industry is just trying to get us all hooked on anything at any time. Yeah. And I don't believe that they want to help us really at all. I don't think it
could be dangerous. And is it being,
I don't think it's coming from a good place. Yeah. In the scientist's minds it is, right? Because if you're a scientist.
And it's like, I worry about the quick fixes.
Yes.
Those cases. Same. I get there's like health reasons.
Yes.
I worry about the vanity quick fixes.
I know.
So do I. And that's why I'm not on social media, because I'm like, feel the urge of like, oh no, like the quick fixes are just in the face all the time. And so I have to be careful of that.
We have to be careful. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're gonna do some body somatic stuff. We are going to listen to ourselves.
Yep. Try to be in tune, right? Stay connected, right? I love to say it's really all about connection. Yeah. Connecting with yourself, connecting with others, right? And how that's important. With the holidays. Yeah. And the question is like, how can I just take better care of myself? So if we're talking about goals next year or how to get through the holidays, what worked and didn't last year? What didn't I like that I did, right, in that family gathering? Or, if I think of my whole last year, what did I need more of that I didn't get? What was I lacking? Sometimes you'll hear me talk a lot about buckets. What buckets are empty? Is it my friend's bucket? Is it my relationships? Is it my family? Is it my creativity? Is it my like solitude? Is it my, I want to be adventurous and do new things? Like when, what should I do? It's like, yeah, let's just like slow down and do a little reflection. How was last year? What buckets were low? What I really feel like if you make space, it's kind of there. It's going to say, but are we listening and are we slowing it down?
That's really good advice. That's perfect for right now.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that. If somebody wants to have like a therapist, get some help, how do you recommend them going about that?
I know that is so hard, especially now, because there's even more platforms.
Really?
I see commercials now of all these different ways to get therapy.
Right.
And I think that's like good, and it's overwhelming. Because like for my clients, when they're looking for so-and-so, and I'm like, I'll help you because I know that looks crazy. And so I'm like, I'm on Psychology Today looking for folks. Okay, yeah. I know there's like Rula is a new one. Sondermine is a new one. Right?
I've only used Psychology Today.
I know. That's like kind of been the biggest and first, but there's reasons why some folks don't like them for important reasons. And so I don't want to say that they're the only way. Right. It's hard. It isn't easy. I know sometimes you can just do a Google search, right? But that's also like who's paying to be on the top. Like it's just it's really confusing.
And what if you can't afford a therapist?
Yeah, and if you can't afford a therapist, then people are kind of leaning on health insurance. And if you don't have health insurance, there is some platforms that it is like a lower cost, and so they're doing like $30 sessions.
Wow, that's better.
There are ways.
Okay,
there are options.
Good.
And I feel like now, like, I think the hard part is like if you do I want a therapist, there's just going to be like a lot, which is good. I think like have people help you, like, I don't know, like, like ask for help on how to narrow this down and how to like everyone's bio looks the same after so many. And so there's a lot out there though.
What about books? Any books you recommend?
Ooh, I mean, so the IFS has their classic No Bad Parts. That's a good one. I mean, somatic, I'm just dabbling in all of that, and so I'm not sure yet of any of the really good books for that yet. I'm more of like the videos and the Linda Ty.
I'll link all of these in the show notes as well. Yeah. Linda Ty and sheBREATH.
sheBREATH.
Yeah, sheBREATH. Yep.
And then, I mean, and it's books, like I used to have such a on the ready list, but nobody has time to read books anymore. That's true. So I've stopped giving books, and I'm like, okay, YouTube video, and
you can watch while you're washing the dishes.
Podcast. Nobody wants books anymore. Right. But if they do, they are there for you, and I could figure them out if they need them.
Nice. Yeah. And also like on Spotify, I'm not sure about the other podcasting apps, but Spotify, you can listen to audiobooks.
Oh my gosh.
As part of your membership.
Okay.
There's a cap for hours. It's like 10 hours a month. But that's
another
amazing.
Cool thing on Spotify or any music kind of channel. So another cool thing that's an easy thing to do that's fast to calm your nervous system. It's called bilateral music.
Yes. Good point.
Oh my gosh. I just found my favorite one on Amazon Music. And it's like it really helps me if I have to do a lot of paperwork. Okay. And I have two kinds of paperwork. One that I can really fall asleep on, and one that what is it? It's like an opposite problem. Like I really like get anxious about it. And so this, like while I'm listening to it and the music is going in and out, it like really soothes the brain, and I'm able to do all of it.
Do you wear headphones?
Yes, you need it. It only really works with
back and forth.
Yep. And it's been amazing.
Nice.
Like these paperworks have always been such a big stressor for my day. Yes. And now I'm just like, and I'm like looking forward to listening to it because it feels so good.
See, I made the mistake of just putting it. I have like Sonos around the house.
And I forget to tell people it needs to be like in your ear.
Headphones.
In your ear.
Because I find it like, I always like to listen to something while I'm working on the computer.
It's so nice.
But I need to do full effect.
And that's an example of a brain break that you don't have to work so hard for.
Yes.
And that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And that's what I know everyone is kind of wanting to look for.
Great idea. And that's just, you can find it on YouTube.
Just bilateral stimulation. And then like, if you get sick of one CD, there's others. Yeah. And they're like, that's a thing people are doing now.
Okay. I hope people got some, I know. Because you just came here with so much inspiration and such good tips. Thank you, Monique.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
It was so lovely to be here.
I had so much fun. I hope we'll do it again.
I hope so.
Because we like to talk.
I'm down.
Let's do it again. Okay.
Yay.